Good morning, Virgo. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope that you are doing really well. Okay, so you've been inside too long, haven't you? Not just physically, though, maybe that too, but energetically, emotionally, spiritually. You've been inside your own head, inside your routine, inside your comfort zone, inside the same four walls, the same thoughts, the same patterns, the same limited view of what's possible. And while you've been in there, while you've been playing it safe, while you've been waiting for the right moment or the right feeling or the right circumstances, something has been trying to reach you. Something significant, something that could shift everything. But it can't reach you where you are. It needs you to move. It needs you to get out of the house. And I mean that literally and metaphorically. There's a miracle trying to find you right now, an opportunity, a connection, a moment of synchronicity, a turning point. But miracles don't usually knock on your door. They happen in the world, in movement, in unexpected places, in moments when you're open and available and actually present in your life instead of hiding from it. So let's explore this. Why you need to get out of the house, what might be waiting for you when you do, what you've been avoiding by staying in, and how your physical movement might catalyze the energetic shifts you've been praying for while sitting still. Take what resonates here. This is about action and openness. You remain in control of your choices. Always. This is simply an invitation to consider that maybe, just maybe, staying where you are isn't serving you anymore. Let me start by asking you something. When was the last time you broke your routine? When was the last time you went somewhere you don't usually go, did something you don't usually do, talked to someone you don't usually talk to, put yourself in a position where something unexpected could actually happen? Because I feel like many of you have been living on autopilot, home to work to home, same routes, same places, same people, same conversations, same energy. And there's comfort in that. There's safety in predictability, but there's also stagnation. There's also the slow death of possibility that happens when life becomes too small, too controlled, too known. And miracles, real miracles, they don't happen in stagnation, they happen in flow, in movement, in moments when we're engaged with life instead of just managing it. When we're present to what's actually happening around us, instead of lost in our thoughts about what happened before or what might happen next. So, if you've been waiting for something to change, if you've been praying for a breakthrough, if you've been hoping for a sign, maybe the first step is simply getting out of the house, getting into the world, making yourself available for the unexpected. Let me paint you a picture. You've been sitting at home, maybe scrolling on your phone, maybe watching something, maybe working, maybe just existing in that low level anxiety that comes from being stuck in your own head too long. And you feel this pull, this sense that you should do something, go somewhere, but you talk yourself out of it. You're tired, it's cold outside, you don't have a specific destination. You'll go tomorrow. You'll go when you feel more like it. But that pull, that restlessness, that's not random. That's your intuition trying to get your attention. That's life trying to move you. That's the miracle, saying I'm out here, but you have to come meet me. And every time you ignore it, every time you choose comfort over curiosity, you're potentially missing the very thing you've been asking for. You know what I'm picking up on most strongly? There may be a person you're meant to meet, not in a soulmate, love at first sight way necessarily, though it could be, but someone significant. someone who has information you need, someone who can open a door, someone who sees something in you that you don't see in yourself, someone who's meant to be part of your next chapter. And this person, they're not going to show up at your house. They're not going to find you on your couch. They're out there living their life, going to places, doing things, and your paths are meant to cross, but only if you're both actually out in the world where paths can cross. So when you stay home, when you stay small, when you stay in your routine, you're not just missing opportunities, you're missing connections. You're missing the people who are supposed to be part of your story. Let me ask you another question. What are you afraid of? What's keeping you inside beyond just comfort or tiredness? Is it social anxiety? Is it fear of disappointment? Is it not wanting to be seen? Is it protecting yourself from potential rejection? Is it the overwhelming nature of options when you don't have a clear plan? Because I feel like for many of you, staying in isn't really about preference. It's about protection. It's about controlling your environment so you don't have to face the uncertainty of the world. So you don't have to risk awkward interactions or uncomfortable moments or the vulnerability of being in spaces where you're not completely in control. And I get that. The world can be overwhelming, people can be difficult. Leaving your safe space requires energy, but the cost of that protection is high. It's isolation, it's missed opportunities, it's the slow shrinking of your world until you wake up one day and realize you've made yourself so small that even your own life feels foreign to you. Now let's talk about what getting out of the house actually means. Because I'm not just talking about going to the grocery store and coming back. I'm not talking about running errands on autopilot. I'm talking about being present in the world, about going places with openness, about creating space for the unexpected to find you. Here's what that might look like practically. Go for a walk somewhere you've never walked before, not with headphones on, lost in a podcast, but present, noticing, observing, available. Go sit in a coffee shop or park or library, somewhere with people, somewhere with energy. Just sit, read, work, but be there. Let yourself be part of the world instead of separate from it. Go to an event, a class, a workshop, a meetup, something that interests you, or something completely random. Just go. Put yourself in spaces where you don't know everyone, where you might have to introduce yourself, where you might have conversations you wouldn't have otherwise. Say yes to invitations you'd usually decline. When someone asks if you want to grab coffee or go to a thing, say yes, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it, because the things we don't feel like doing are often the things that lead somewhere unexpected. Visit places that feed your soul, museums, nature, bookstores, galleries, wherever makes you feel alive or curious or connected to something larger than yourself. Because when you're in those spaces, your energy shifts. You open up. And when you open up, you become magnetic in different ways. Let me slow down here because I want to address something. Some of you might be thinking, but I'm an introvert, or I need my alone time, or going out exhausts me. And those things can all be true. This isn't about forcing yourself to be someone you're not. This isn't about becoming extroverted if that's not your nature. This is about recognizing when your need for alone time has become avoidance, when recharging has become hiding, when protecting your energy has become cutting yourself off from life. There's a difference between honoring your needs and using your needs as an excuse to stay stuck. And only you know which one you're doing. Only you know if staying in is genuinely serving you or if it's keeping you safe but small. Only you can answer honestly whether you're recharging or avoiding. Let me share something with you. Miracles are often disguised as ordinary moments, as random conversations, as being in the right place at the right time, as overhearing something that gives you the exact information you needed, as meeting someone who can help you, as stumbling upon an opportunity you weren't looking for, but that's perfect for where you are. And these moments, they look like luck from the outside, like coincidence, like good fortune, but they're not random. They're what happens when you make yourself available, when you're present, when you're moving through the world with openness rather than closing yourself off. People who experience a lot of lucky breaks, they're usually people who are out there, who are engaged, who are saying yes to things, who are creating opportunities for serendipity to occur. And people who wonder why good things never happen to them, they're often people who are barely participating in their own lives. You know what else I'm sensing? Some of you have been waiting for a sign before you take action, waiting for clarity before you move, waiting to feel ready before you start. But that's backwards. Movement creates clarity. Action reveals the path. Getting out of the house shows you what the next step is. You don't get the full map before you start the journey. You get the next step, then the next, then the next. So if you're waiting to know where you're going before you leave, you'll never leave. If you're waiting to have a plan before you act, you'll stay stuck in planning forever. Sometimes you just have to move and let the movement show you where you're meant to go. Let me paint you another picture. It's this weekend. You decide to get out of the house. You don't have a big plan. You just go somewhere, a park, a cafe, a community event. You sit down, you're present, you notice your surroundings, and then something happens. Someone sits near you and you start talking, or you overhear a conversation that sparks an idea, or you see a flyer for something that interests you, or you just feel better, lighter, more alive than you felt in weeks. And that feeling, that aliveness, that's not nothing, that's everything. Because when you feel alive, when you feel connected to the world around you, you show up differently. You make different choices, you notice different things, you attract different energy. And that shift in energy, that's often what precedes the miracle. Now, let's talk about timing, because I feel like there's a window right now, a period where the energy is particularly ripe for unexpected positive developments, where the universe is particularly responsive to movement, where your actions carry more weight than they might at other times. And if you stay inside during this window, if you stay small during this opening, you might miss it. The window won't stay open forever. Energy shifts, opportunities pass, and months from now, you might look back and wonder what would have happened if you'd just gotten out of the house when something in you was telling you to. So don't wait, don't overthink it, don't analyze it to death. Just go. This week, tomorrow, today if possible. Break the pattern, disrupt the routine. Get out into the world and make yourself available for whatever wants to find you. Let me ask you something else. What would it cost you to try this? What's the actual risk? Maybe a few hours of your time, maybe some minor discomfort. maybe feeling awkward for a moment. That's it. Those are the stakes. And what's the potential gain? Everything. A conversation that changes your perspective, a connection that opens a door, an idea that transforms your direction, an opportunity you couldn't have imagined, a moment that becomes a turning point. The risk reward ratio here is wildly in favor of action. Low risk, high potential reward. But we often do the opposite. We avoid low risk actions because of discomfort while staying in high risk situations like stagnation and isolation because they're familiar. Drop a comment if you already know you need to get out more, but you've been making excuses, because naming it reduces its power over you. You know what else I'm picking up on? The miracle that's incoming. It might not look like what you expect. You might be hoping for one thing, and what shows up is something completely different. And you could dismiss it because it doesn't match your expectations. You could overlook it because it doesn't arrive in the packaging you were looking for. So when you get out there, when you make yourself available, stay open. Don't be so fixed on one specific outcome that you miss the actual gifts being offered. The miracle might be a friendship, might be an insight, might be an opportunity in a field you never considered, might be a resource you didn't know existed, might be healing, might be joy, might be connection. Trust that what shows up is what you need, even if it's not what you thought you wanted. Let me share something else with you. There's magic in novelty, in newness, in breaking patterns. When you do something different, when you go somewhere new, your brain wakes up. You become more alert, more present, more observant. You notice things you wouldn't notice in your regular routine. And that heightened state of awareness, that's when synchronicities happen. That's when you're most likely to encounter exactly what you need. So actively seek novelty, even small novelty. Take a different route, go to a different store, sit in a different chair. Anything that disrupts autopilot and brings you into the present moment. Because presence is where magic lives. Presence is where miracles can reach you. Let's sit with this for a moment. What if getting out of the house isn't just about what you might encounter externally? What if it's also about what it does for you internally? What if movement in your physical space creates movement in your emotional and mental space? What if changing your environment helps you see things differently? What if being around people and energy and life reminds you of who you are beyond your thoughts and worries and routines? Because isolation does things to us. It makes our problems seem bigger. It makes our perspectives narrower. It makes our worlds smaller. And sometimes the best thing we can do for ourselves is simply get out into the world and remember that there's more to life than what's in our heads. Let me offer you something practical. Make a commitment right now. Decide that this week you're going to get out of the house at least 3 times, not for errands, not for obligations, but for openness, for possibility, for being present in the world. 3 times. That's not excessive. That's not overwhelming. That's doable even for the most introverted or busy or exhausted person. 3 times this week, put yourself somewhere with an open heart and an open mind. See what happens. Notice what you notice. Pay attention to how you feel. Track whether anything shifts. And then decide if this practice is worth continuing. You know what else might be helpful? Invite someone to come with you. Not someone who will keep you in your comfort zone, but someone who's also ready for something different. Someone who's also feeling stuck. someone who would benefit from breaking their routine too, because sometimes having a partner in exploration makes it easier, makes it feel less scary, makes it more likely you'll actually do it instead of just thinking about it. And there's something powerful about two people showing up with intention, about creating a small adventure together, about witnessing each other's openness. It amplifies the energy. It makes the experience more memorable. It creates accountability. Let me ask you one final question. What would your life look like 6 months from now if you made this a practice? If every week you intentionally got out of the house, broke your routine, made yourself available for the unexpected, what connections might you have that you don't have now? What opportunities might have appeared? What version of yourself might you have become? Because I feel like this isn't just about one miracle. It's about a way of living. It's about being engaged with life rather than hiding from it. It's about participation rather than observation. And when you live that way, when you're actively present and open and moving, miracles stop feeling rare. They start feeling natural. Like, of course, good things happen. Like, of course, opportunities show up. Like, of course, life surprises you in positive ways because you're creating the conditions for those things to occur. Take what resonates from this reading, leave what doesn't, and remember that you remain in control of your choices, of your actions, of whether you stay inside or venture out. A miracle may be incoming, or maybe multiple miracles, but they need you to meet them halfway. They need you to be available. They need you to get out of the house. This isn't about forcing anything. This isn't about desperate seeking. This is about gentle, intentional openness, about showing up in your life, about being present in the world, about making space for good things to find you. Trust your inner knowing. Trust that restless feeling that's been telling you to move. Trust that something good is trying to reach you. Trust that the world has gifts for you that are waiting to be discovered. But you have to go discover them. They're not coming to your couch. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being willing to consider that maybe comfort isn't always serving you. Thank you for being ready to try something different. You're exactly where you need to be. On the edge of movement, on the edge of possibility. What you do with that is up to you. I'll see you in the next one. Take care and seriously get out of the house this week multiple times with intention, with openness, with presence. See what happens. You might be surprised. You might be delighted. You might encounter exactly what you've been looking for without knowing you were looking for it. The miracle is out there. Go meet it.